Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here at Earth and Sky, and those of you joining us online, we always appreciate each and every one of you. We are going to be starting a 4-part series on the 12 great laws of karma. So if you've been wondering how to get on karma's good side, actually she doesn't have a good side. It's just about what you do and what you put out into the world and what you create. So this will help you have a few ideas on how to create what you want in the world through the 12 great laws of karma. So we're going to be doing 3 laws in each episode for a total of 4 episodes over the next few weeks. So as always, we appreciate when you share our videos out, hit the like and subscribe button, hit the bell notification to choose how often you want to get our notifications. And I'm going to get started with the first great law. So not sure if any of you are familiar with these already, but as you sow, so shall you reap is a nice way to summarize the first one, which is kind of self-explanatory when you think about karma. What you create, what you put out in the world, that is what you're going to be receiving within your life. You can have complete and total control over your own actions. That's one of the only things that you can have control over in this life is your action, what you choose to do. Being willing to choose not to react, but instead to consciously choose your actions is a big key part of that. And on top of having complete control over your actions, you have pretty much no control over the consequences that happen around you in life. But the nice caveat of that is that what you put out into the world, what you create, not only by what you do physically, but also by where your thoughts are mentally, where your emotions are, and what you surround yourself with, and what your perspective is, that's very definitely going to be creating what you see around you, what you have around you, what the consequences are in your life. So you have complete control over your actions, no control over the consequences, but the good news of all of that is that eventually all of your good thoughts, actions, and deeds are going to turn into things that will lead to really good consequences around you. Sometimes life does have a little bit of a soup of the types of things we have to experience, and sometimes that can get a little hot, sometimes it's just about right, but it's through persisting and through remembering that as you choose to do the right things in this world and you choose to have the good actions and you choose to create in every moment things from that positive perspective, contributing to the world, contributing to the friends and family that you have around you, contributing to yourself by choosing healthy behaviors and thoughts and actions in your own life for you. That's going to result in you being healthier. In the same way that as you choose healthy relationships around you, that will begin to turn into good consequences of having good friendships around you. Choosing to be that healthy person in the workplace that has a positive attitude, that lends a helping hand, will eventually lead to you seeing that reciprocated in your own life as well. So if you feel like you're getting the raw lemons too frequently in life, it might be that you need to reevaluate what are you putting out into the world. Have you allowed those things that have been really hard and harsh and struggling to maybe impact what you're doing? Are you maybe choosing to not do as much as you might normally in a positive way simply because you feel a little bit beaten down? So know that what you put out is what you will get in, and as you persist with it, you're going to see that tide change. I think sometimes we don't necessarily do a great self-reflection of ourselves, and it's hard to do a self-inventory, which kind of leads us to the second great law of karma, almost identical to the law of attraction in many ways. This law states that you attract what you are, not what you want. And I really like the way that says that, because who you are in this world, who you are to your friends and family, who you are to yourself, those characteristics and what you put out, the effort that you put into every day is what is creating and generating the things that are happening in your life. And it's not necessarily what you want. Sometimes we want things that may be in one direction, but that might not be what our behaviors are always living up to. We might think sometimes that it is, but if we really take a moment to step back and do an honest assessment of ourselves, we may find that maybe that's not quite what we've been living up to as far as our full potential. And when you rise up and you start living in that full potential, then you're going to start attracting what you are in that moment too. One of the things I love with karma is that it always is just a very pure and true reflection of what is. It doesn't care what we want. It doesn't care what we are thinking we may be. It is a reflection of who we are in this moment, at this time, and what we have created within our reality. So for that second law, you attract who you are, you attract what you are, not what you want. This can really be linked closely to some of the colloquialisms like birds of a feather flock together, or you can judge a person by the company they keep. So if you're not sure why you're not manifesting what you want in your life, look at the people that are around you, because they're going to be a pretty good reflection of who you are at this point in time. And look at the situations that seem to be drawn around you, the situations that you find keep coming up around you over and over. Sometimes people will feel like they are always having drama come into their lives, and they're not sure why they keep having drama come up, because they feel like they are absolutely not a drama person whatsoever. Yet if they do a true, honest assessment, they may find that they actually do have a little bit of drama. Maybe they even thrive on that, even though it is an uncomfortable place to be. It can be a very hard thing to do a self-assessment, but it is so important, because when you do, you need to also do it without judging yourself, because judging yourself gets you nowhere, does not help. All it does is put you back down in a lower place, which is what we're trying to pull up out of. We're trying to get to that point where you believe in yourself, and where you see you're creating amazing things in this world, and where you see and you know that you're ready for the life of your dreams, because that's what you're living within yourself. You're living the ideals, the thoughts, the deeds, and the actions that create and show a life well lived. So take a moment as you go through this week and think about who surrounds you closest in your life. What kind of people are they? What situations do you find keep coming to you over and over in different ways? Because that's how the universe gets messages to us. And it's also what shows a mirror to who we are as we look and try and figure that out. So, and again, don't judge yourself as you see it, because if you start to judge yourself, two things will happen. Either you're going to deny it and say, oh, well, no, that doesn't apply to me, and she's crazy. Or you're going to get really harsh on yourself if you're not living where you want to be. So just see it as a mirror. The facts are the facts, and know that it's information that will empower you to move forward into the life that you do want, and where you are attracting what you are, and that is are things that are making you happy. You will notice that as you elevate into that space, you begin surrounding yourself with people and circumstances that reflect your beliefs about yourself and the world, and that can turn into a really positive thing as you start recognizing that, living that, being it, acting it. And then the third law of karma is the law of humanity. This one is very simply put, what you resist persists. When the energy of something that you don't want cannot be cleared or changed, and sometimes we find ourselves fighting things, may seem like an uphill battle over a prolonged period of time, but those things, the energy of something that you really don't want to change, cannot be cleared up or changed by expending more of that same energy. The energy of the things that you want changed cannot be cleared up by sending more of that same energy to it. In the same way that violence does not clear away violence. You cannot silence anger with anger. You cannot clear away judgment with judgment. You cannot clear away those things that may be driving you crazy or you seem to be struggling with a lot. Those things that you find annoy you and everyone else. Take a stock within yourself and recognize, are those traits that maybe you have in yourself, maybe you didn't realize. Maybe that didn't used to be who you were, but it seems like every single day when you come home from work, you seem to have an attitude, or you seem to be very frustrated, or as soon as you come into contact with the people that you normally love and cherish in your family, you find yourself just going off or having a very short fuse, and probably blaming them because they have that same short fuse, because you get locked in these certain patterns. In order to clear that out, you must rise above and out of that energy. And as you do, the people around you are going to shift and change too. You'll begin noticing that as you shift your attitude, as you embrace kindness, as you extend the courtesies that you want extended to yourself, you're going to notice that you start seeing that shifting and changing. It's very important to stay out of victim mentality, out of the martyr mentality as well, because it's not only your beliefs about the world, it's your beliefs about yourself. So if you believe that you are always the martyr that is always trying to do the right thing and no one ever seems to respect it or give you what you need, that's exactly what you're going to see coming to you in life over and over and over. And you're ready to pull up out of that. So let those beliefs go in the past and recognize that in an instant, literally in an instant, you can change that. You can shift the perceptions, which will then shift the reality that you're living, allowing you to go into a dimension of space where you are seeing those good things reflected around you. It may take a moment for the others around you to recognize that shift, because they have to pull out of those patterns within themselves as well. But being annoyed at somebody, getting frustrated, getting short at them is only going to spark those same things within them. Extend love. Extend it without any judgment and without any expectations coming off of it. And just notice how everything begins to elevate around you. When there's a situation that has anger or violence or frustration, instead extending the energy of peace, extending the energy of harmony, extending the energy of love is going to help you to be able to start seeing that reflecting around you. In order to see more good in the world, you need to do more good within yourself as well. That, of course, doesn't apply if you're in some kind of a violent relationship at home. That's not what I'm referencing here. You do need to get to a safe place. That is very important. There are lots of resources for that. But I'm referencing more the standard just frustration and things like that that can happen. And all of these same things will apply to an office. If you feel like you're working in an office and you feel like you're very frustrated with the relationships and the dynamics of everyone there, look into yourself. What can you change? How can you be the inspiration and the hero for that office? Shifting yourself, allowing others to see the example of how they can then shift as well, setting a tone in the office that feels good, where people begin to notice, hey, it feels good to be in here. Maybe I like being around this space. And you'll notice that those things then begin to shift. In order to see more good in the world, you must do more good. So I hope that inspires you with some food for thought for this week. Those 3 great rules, quick summary: as you sow, so shall you reap. Almost identical to the law of attraction, you attract who you are, not what you want. Very important detail. And then what you resist persists. So stop resisting and start creating. You can do this. Have a great week, everyone. Please remember to like and subscribe.